Alright, shall we get into it? Chapter 3 of Dnaught's story. Let's go, Chapter 3, From Treehouse to Scary House. So, Kira said, lying stomach down on the floor of our treehouse, chin propped in their hands. You got arrested, roasted by your mom, stared at by your dad like you were in a microwave he didn't remember buying. And now some weirdo in a trench coat wants to hire you? Blinked slowly. Please tell me this is a new kind of prank show. So according to Google, keyboard and mouse were not initially the standard for gaming. Well, because arcade gaming before PCs were strong enough to do gaming on top of what they were designed to do. But arcades went down two paths, consoles and PCs. And to this day, people still make arcade machines for, like, public, arcade type places. Shit is huge. So, like, PC cafes. Flopped on my back beside them and groaned, letting the creaky boards of the floor swallow me whole. If it is, the host hates me and his camera crew teleports. Kira turned their head to look at me. Their leaf-like hair rustled lazily as if even it was judging me. You didn't get his name? I did. Stared up at the leafy roof we built together. Pluto. Kira squinted. Like the planet? Like the dog? They blinked. I have so many questions. Get in line. Silence for a moment. Just the sound of wind slipping through the treehouse walls and the distant hum of traffic far below. This place had always felt like a pocket universe, which is probably why I came here every time I needed to pretend I had my life together. So, Kira finally said, you gonna take the job? I snorted. Oh yeah, totally. Sign me up to work for a guy who oozes mysterious side quests that ends with your organs missing. Leo, they said, voice flat. You're being dramatic. No, I'm being funny. They sat up and nudged me in the ribs, rude, given how bruised those still were. Be real with me for a sec. You could have run yesterday, like actually run. Nobody expected anything from you, but you didn't. Chewed on the inside of my cheek, grumbling. Kira pressed on. You fought back. You saved people. You, do not make me say this. Did good. Stared at the ceiling. Yeah, well, I didn't have a choice. They shook their head. That's the thing. You did. You always do. You just keep pretending you don't, so you won't have to own up to how not useless you are. Gee, I muttered. Your pep talks are getting dangerously close to therapy. Kira smiled. Wait till I start charging. I sighed. Even if I wanted to try this, which, that's still up in the air. I just said I was to piss off my parents. Who even is Pluto? He showed up out of nowhere, knows my name, and apparently has been forging paperwork wherever it says I've been his sidekick for weeks. They shrugged. I just think maybe this guy seems like the rest of us didn't. Sees something the rest of us didn't. Or maybe he's a total weirdo and you'll get arrested again. Either way, I think you'll regret not finding out. I looked over at them. They met my eyes. Serious now. You're always looking for a reason to run from who you are. But yesterday, you ran into the chaos. That means something. I swallowed. And of course, they couldn't help themselves. Also, I'm pretty sure your wind powers looked sexy. Just saying. My face went red. You literally rejected me 2 years ago. Doesn't mean I can't objectify you now. Threw a leaf at them. They caught it in their mouth. Is that supposed to be twice? Or is that... They caught it in their mouth, chewed once, and spat it out in faux disdain. Ugh, maple. Disgusting. Laughed despite myself. You're such a freak. Correction, I'm your freak. They winked, then immediately gagged. Nope, ew, ew, nope, nope! That sounded way better in my head. Cancel it, strike it from the record. I smirked, but the silence that followed stretched a little too long. I could feel the weight of the decision settling in my chest again like an overdue assignment. Kira sat cross-legged now, their vine-stitched sleeves brushing against their calves as they leaned forward, elbows on knees. Look, I'm not saying trust him blindly, but maybe for once just jump. You've been stuck on the same branch for years, Leo, and I'm saying that as your friend, not your fake therapist. I stayed quiet. A breeze snuck through the walls again, catching the edge of the old Hero Weekly posters we'd thumbtacked to the roof. One of them, eruption mid-punch, flames curling off his knuckles, fluttered and held my gaze. I need to pack, I mumbled. Kira grinned. I'll walk you back. And by walk, I mean I'm coming inside to make sure you don't forget socks again. Just that one time, Leo, you wore one red sock and one glove. Technically, it still covered my feet. Rolled their eyes and stood. When sunlight caught in their hair, it looked like autumn had decided to grow a person. Green and gold, flecks of red at the tips where their gift was starting to shift with the seasons. As we climbed down the wooden ladder, I felt something close to peace, which naturally meant it was time to go home and ruin that immediately. The walk back was quiet, but not a bad way. Not in a bad way. Kira whistled a tune I didn't recognize, and I mentally made a checklist of what to bring. By the time we reached my street, my stomach was twisting into knots. And not the metaphorical kind, more like the another fight with Dad is imminent kind. I stepped through the front door, and immediately I heard my dad's voice. Don't track leaves through the house, Leo. Too late, Kira called back cheerfully, brushing a single leaf from their shoulder. My dad emerged from the kitchen. Oh, of course you're here. Good to see you too, Mr. Lambert. Kira replied smoothly. Your frown lines are really coming in, he grunted. I darted for the stairs. I'm just grabbing stuff, not saying, don't freak. Grabbing stuff for what? Paused halfway up. The job with Pluto. Silence. Then, you're not actually going through with that. His voice was low and sharp, like he was holding back a punch. You're really throwing away your potential to go with a criminal? He's offering to train me. Real training. He's nobody. He's someone who asked, I snapped, which is more than I can say for anyone else. The air in the house changed. Heavy still. You think being a hero means disregarding the law? Dad stepped closer. You're not ready. You're impulsive and reckless and alive, Kira cut in, stepping between us. Which he wouldn't be if he hadn't trusted himself for once. My dad looked past them at me. Do you know French? No, Tyler, but Callie does. Why? What's up, Tyler? And how's it going? How was the stream? I was lurking. Bird in French is... I can't even say that. I'll say oiseau. And none of the letters sound like they should. It's every vowel in the French alphabet and is pronounced with two. Oiseau? Is it oiseau? Or is it ISO? Je parle un peu français. It's pronounced like oiseau. Oiseau. And it fucking annoys me. I hate words that are not... This is what I want a name to be in my book, guys. The name will be spelt like this. And it's pronounced...
Greg.
And like all the names in the story will be like really fucked up spelt, but it's like the first time you introduce the character, it'll be like, yeah, your name's spelt like this, but it's pronounced like this. And then it'll always use that spelling, but you'll have to remember what the pronunciation of that character's name is. And it's like, if it's the character, it's their name. If it's another character, it's them saying the other name. Oh man, that would be such a great experimental story. I'm totally saving that idea. That's such a great idea. My dad looked past them at me, and you would have no idea what the fuck was going on because the names would be so fucked up. And there'd be like 15 or 16 characters. Oh my god, now I really want to write this story. Because it would be great, because it's a completely experimental story, so it doesn't have to have any structure, it doesn't have to have any plot. The entire idea behind it is just introducing new people and saying that their names are fucked up. Just because. That's how you break all the rules. It's like, oh no, it's not Donna again. Here comes Hermagajurger Flappendope. Ah, oh, man. Could never get over that shit. My dad looked past them at me. You take this path, don't expect to come crawling back when it goes sideways. I met his stare. Wasn't planning on it. And then I ran upstairs before he could see the tremble in my hands. Packing was weird. Bag filled up quickly. Spare clothes, portable charger, the tiny toolkit Steph gave me last year. A few Fig Newton bars I probably wouldn't eat. My eruption figurine and the one with detachable fire fists. Kira helped fold stuff while humming again. Halfway through I stopped. Forgot to get Harvey's number. Kira looked up. He'll find you, or you'll find him. I nodded, but the thought lingered. Somewhere out there, another kid's probably sitting in his own bedroom, wondering if all this chaos had been worth it. I hoped he was okay. I hoped he passed. Turn down the volume, though, if you play it. Check out this clip. Whose story? This story that we're reading right now is Dnaught's. Apparently I have to turn it up more.
This song is for the Xylo driver raid. I wish I was that young to masturbate 3 times a fucking day. Prove me wrong, I bet you fucking do, you little horny bastard. I wish I was a youth. I used to do that too.
Gooning all day!
I had a sexual addiction to my dick that is normal. But shut up. Right, did you like your raid song? That was it.
Well done, I love it. Hell yeah. Perfect. It matches the vibe of my stream perfectly. Because we all know Smokey's out there somewhere gooning. It's just what he does. Yeah, and this is chapter 3, because Dnaught has like 164 pages, and this is like 23 to 36? Or something like that? Listen, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. I mean, same with my stories, Tyler. Sometimes they work and sometimes they are some Whitakers. We got some Whitakers up in here. We got some Whitakers. That's how some of my stories turn out. You know? I mean, like most of them. Kira looked up. He'll find you or you'll find him. I nodded, but the thought lingered. Somewhere out there, another kid's probably sitting in his own bedroom wondering if all this chaos had been worth it. I hoped he was okay. I hope he passed. Kira zipped up my bag with a dramatic flourish, and voila! You are now ready for your inevitable doom. I cracked a smile. Thanks for the help. And the unsolicited judgment. They shrugged. It's a gift, like my hair. Speaking of... They tugged a curling strand shaped like a fern frond. Don't forget to water me while you're gone. I opened my mouth, then hesitated before taking it from them. You sure you're okay with this? They gave me a nod and a salute, then turned to the stairs. I'll give you a sec, but if you chicken out, I'm dragging you to that location myself, vine rope style. I waited until I heard them reach the bottom of the stairs. I took one last look around my room. Posters, clutter, the notebook I doodled hero names in when I was 12. The hallway was quiet when I stepped out. Steph was waiting for me at the bottom of the stairs. She had her arms crossed, a smirk on her face, and the kind of eyes that could kill and hug you at the same time. So, you're really doing it. I gave a slow nod. Guess so. She walked over and punched me in the arm. Not hard, but enough. Took you long enough. Can you not make me feel worse about this? She rolled her eyes and stepped in close, fixing my collar like some sitcom mom. I'm proud of you, dumbass. I'm gonna worry like hell. You don't have to. I do, actually. It's my job as your way cooler older sister. That hit harder than I expected. My throat tightened. You'll keep Kira company, right? She grinned. Duh. Gotta have someone to gossip with. I laughed, then hesitated. Dad's gonna be pissed. She nodded. Yup, probably forever, but you're not him, and you don't owe him a copy of his regrets. I blinked fast. That was weirdly profound. Ew, was it? She shoved my shoulder. Better leave before I get all emotional or whatever. Took a step forward, toward the door. Love you, Steph. Love you too, Windy. Outside, the sun was just starting to set, the sky streaking orange and violet. I walked down the sidewalk with my bag slung over one shoulder and a crumpled piece of paper in my pocket with hastily written coordinates. No car waited. No official escort. Just me, the street, and the distant hum of possibility. Pulled out my phone, checked the map. It's a couple miles on foot, of course. Figures. As I started walking, I glanced up at the sky, the wind brushing my hair like it remembered me. I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't know what Pluto wanted or what kind of hero he thought I could be. But for once, I wasn't running away. Coordinates led me to the edge of the industrial district, where streetlights gave up early and the city looked like it had a hangover. I stopped in front of a squat, rust-streaked warehouse that looked like it had been abandoned since VHS tapes were cutting edge. Half the windows were boarded up, the other half were just gone, and there was graffiti everywhere. Tags, warnings, a very unflattering cartoon of Vanguard with a balloon saying, "Justice is my skincare routine." Charming. Tugged at the straps of my bag and squinted up at the place. Yeah, this definitely doesn't scream licensed hero operation. Unless they're going for Grim Chick. Front door creaked open when I pushed it, metal shrieking like it resented being disturbed. Inside, dust floated in sunbeams cutting through the broken windows. The place smelled like old oil, rust, and the ghosts of dead pigeons. Rows of forgotten crates lined the walls, most of them half collapsed. A rickety stairwell led up to the catwalk above. "Hello?" I called, voice echoing in the emptiness. "Creepy mentor dude, it's me, Wind Kid. You may remember me from such moments as the interrogation room you helped me out of." No response. I walked slowly through the space, boots crunching across gravel and broken glass. Somewhere above, a metal panel creaked in the wind. "Well," I muttered, "if Pluto's trying to murder me, this is a great start." In the back, I found a staircase that led up to a second-level catwalk. A faded sign hung nearby. "Shipping office, authorized personnel only," which, totes meant me. The office door stuck, but I managed to shoulder it open. "Chapter posted! Welcome, welcome, Sean! Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about, keep it up! Totes." Totes meant me, as in like totally. Totes meant me. Totes. I love this like throwback to like 90s language, man. I used to say that shit when I was like 7 and 8. Totes. Radical Scotty. I didn't know. Wait, what do you mean? That my name is Scotty? Or that I'm radical? Because you should know that I'm radical far before you know that my name is Scotty. At least that's my opinion. Radically entertaining? Oh! The office door stuck, but I managed to shoulder it open. Inside was a dusty desk with 3 drawers, all locked. A bulletin board with curling papers still clung to one wall, next to an ancient coffee maker that looked haunted or lost. Wait, Fish, I had aura? What? I didn't know this. I think you might be mistaken, bro. Mission failed. He'll get us next time. Shit! No ads, help! Ha 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 ha, I skipped the ads. I'm immune to the ads. I skipped them because... See them? I nabbed them right out of the sky. Just, yep. And the ads, yop. Sup, Raymondo? How's it going, brother? Welcome, welcome. Hello, can you help me? I'm underwater. The ads will drain the life out of the water, and then you won't have to worry about it. How about that, Fish? It'll drain all the nitrogen out of the water and refill it with oxygen. Then you'll be able to breathe. Oh, you don't know the meme. Interesting. No, I don't know anything about anything. I'm like a hermit living in the woods. I don't know shit about squat dickety fuck all. Is what it is. Never been to Nova Scotia. I wouldn't know. Alberta's the furthest east I've ever been. I'm BC born and raised.
Wet out.
Alright, Callie, get your workout on. Sean's telling you how it needs to go. Burpees today. Let's give it. Maybe like Scotland, but not as old. I'm actually Irish. My family were sheep herders, and we got kicked out of Ireland for being for prohibition. That's right. Yeah, I know, right? Fucked up, eh? I am actually serious. That's how we got kicked out of Ireland and moved to Canada like in like I don't know. Our family were in like 17 like end of the 1700s. So like beginning of the 19th century. Kaiser is mistranslation of Kaiser. Kaiser means king, so we are descended from royal guards. Yeah. Everyone's got an interesting backstory. Is the herb legal? Yes, it is. I buy it from a dispensary. This is good stuff. This is called Strawberry Amnesia. From the Fraser Valley Weed Company. And then there's the other one that we get, the Jean-Guy, that's Good Supply. And it's got like the government like branding thing like tobacco has, right? Where it's like you have to make sure that it's sealed. All of them have the Canadian government basically seal of approval to say that it's legal. Just like tobacco. Good time to be in BC, but you know, I pretty much always smoke. My best friend used to be my drug dealer. But hey, weed's cheaper now. I used to pay $160. Like I used to get deals for like good deals for $160 an ounce. Now I pay like $95 an ounce. It's amazing. It's weird is that it's legal in Washington State, but still illegal at the federal level. Like, how can any state be more lenient than the federal government? It's like the state's willing to give it to you, but don't let the federal government find out. It's so bullshit, Sean. Nothing, like, it just doesn't make sense to me how it's, like, that differential can be there. Right? It's like, it's one thing if it's illegal in other states, and each state can decide whether it's legal, but it should be federally legal and then state illegal. So it's like you can't purchase it. You also can't use it in the military, not that I partake, but I did it, I did while working for feds. Their rules overwrite state rules. States are allowed to make their own laws that the people in that state want. Well, what I'm saying, Queen, is it should be legal on a federal level, and then illegal on a state level if the state doesn't want it to be legal in that state. But it should still be federally legal. Federal should be the most lenient, and every level lower that should be more strict. Exactly, Sean. Because federal should be more broad a spectrum, and like state and city laws should be for those individual citizens that live there. That's how the country should be run, but try giving more power to states and see what happens. See, I think the mentality towards that is a little bit like, I would do it, and I wouldn't add that extra bit of see what happens, because we know what would happen. Everything would fall apart. Because people are fucking dumb, and they like to shoot themselves in the foot. And they think way more, like, fancily and imaginarily than reality allows. And most, well, fancifully, that's the word. They think too fancifully, and then reality hits them in the ass, and then everything falls apart. And this has been shown throughout history with, like, when there's, like, a large rebellion, and then the smaller states pop up, it winds up in, like, 150 years being back to where it was, because that's the natural, organic rule. It's just, at the time, you have to get rid of those corrupt in power. In terms of power scaling, federal government with the least state and control with more individual with the most constitutional limits, of course. Yeah. Like, California wants to be a sanctuary city, allowing illegal immigrants to not only stay, but vote. Not gonna fly. Well, in that case, Sean, they should just make them legal immigrants. If they have a problem of them being illegal, then the sanctuary states, what they should do is they should make those people legal. But the problem is the sanctuary cities don't want to take accountability. They just want to virtue signal and say we're good people. But the second they say, okay, we got 3 illegal aliens and they're moving into your house. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, what do you mean? Well, you're a sanctuary city. You want them to be, you know, in sanctuary. We need them to go somewhere. So you're gonna... You know. I think... Well, I mean, this may be an isolationist take, Sean, but due to the state of Canada right now, I would say close all the borders and fix the shit that's going on here. Once we've fixed all the shit that we have going on here, then we can reevaluate that. But there is to be, like, a limit thing, right? Like, the first world can't take every single person into it, otherwise we're not going to be the first world anymore. It's really, like, harsh to say and fucked up to say, but that's the truth. If we want to maintain being the first world, we have to stick to what's made us the first world, and that's basically holding people to a higher standard than other people normally would around the world. That's like the simplest way I could say it, right? But in my opinion, we can't fix the problems we have. So why should we fix your problems? Right? If you want to go out of your way and try and fix someone else's problems, that's great. That's on you. But to, like, try and force people to go out of their way to help people when they can barely help themselves, I think is the wrong way to look at things. Because no matter what happens, someone's going to be sacrificed. Someone's going to fall behind. Someone's going to, you know, have a bad time. And that's just the way of the world. And you got to accept that. And you got to say, who am I willing? I cannot save you. I mean, who am I to you, fish? It's just like, who are you to me? I can't even save myself. So just save yourself. Exactly. It's like, if I have enough capacity to save myself, I'll try to save as many people as I can. But only one man can only do so much, and only if he can hold himself above the water as it is. And as it is, I'm literally, like, living off of my fucking parents. So it's like, I have nowhere to say anything about shit because I fucking basically work at Walmart. So it's like, well, what do you want from me, right? Writing does not provide you a career 90% of the time. I almost think we should conquer everything down to Panama and make it all the U.S., although I don't advocate for a war of any kind. Maybe Mexico livable. And maybe there won't be any more illegal immigrants. It's true, Sean. Fix the place they're coming from. Walmart in Canada. Yes. The Canada branch of Walmart. Indeed. I'm that Canadian. I work at the American company. Yay. Fuck Walmart. Walmart's such a piece of shit. You can suck my dick. They assholes. I asked for 6 months for fucking 2 months of leave for creative purposes. They're like, no. By the way, Scotty, those were song lyrics. Oh, I had no idea. Home Depot in Mexico is just an empty shell to teach Mexicans where to wait for work. That's fucked up, Sean. That's fucked up, bro. I love it. Never heard of stabbing westward? No. What is that, the song or is that the band? The office door stuck, but I managed to shoulder it open. Inside was a dusty desk with 3 drawers, all locked. A bulletin board with curling papers still clung to one wall, next to an ancient coffee maker that looked haunted. There was a dent in the drywall shaped exactly like someone's head. The band. The song itself is called Save Yourself. No, I never heard of Stabbing Westward. I'm a classic rock kind of person. 18 views already. Probably beat 30 by tomorrow. Nice, Sean. Hell yeah. Story is so far very interesting. It has had more conflict than the last one, that's for sure. And it feels like there's like an actual big bad to go up against. So it's a lot less slice of life. But it's very much harem adventure, which I love. Got cat girls, mouse girls, fox girls, rabbit girls. Or bunny girls. Is there a hamster girl? Squirrel girl? Gabby's a squirrel, right? I can never remember. Half the time I forget that they're like half animals. What's up, fish? Well, even flow. I think I mentioned one, can't remember. Gabby and Jean are both foxes. Oh, Fox! That's what it is. Yeah, a new girl who's house sitting is the squirrel kid. Okay. Neat, I said aloud. Love what you done with the place, Ploots. Back down the main floor, I peeked behind some crates and discovered a rusted-out vending machine. Buttons were unreadable, but one of them still had a faint outline of a pretzel. Hey, Talk! Hey, Ninja! How's it going? Welcome, welcome! How are you today? Have you written any more today, Ninja? I want to read a sneak peek of my improved lore. Sure, I can do that. I stared at it with the kind of longing I usually reserve for Eruption merch. Hello! Still surprised me that I'm 27 chapters in and still no sign of the end. That's good, Sean. It's a nice long, it's a long story. It's in Discord. Alright, perfect. This better be good. Alright, you freaky trench coat man, I said to the empty warehouse. You got 5 minutes before I peace out and go back home where I live, where I have to listen to my parents say, I told you so. What do you think you're doing here? I froze. It wasn't Pluto. It was a younger voice, sharper and smugger. Like someone who had absolutely watched fight highlight reels and now thought they were invincible. I looked up where the voice came from, toward the catwalk. Perched on the edge was a guy around my age, maybe a year or two older. average height, black hoodie, black jeans, black hair, really committing to the brooding thing. Couldn't make out his eyes in the shadow, but I could definitely make out the attitude. I said, Pluto told me to come here. Tilted his head, unimpressed. Sure he did, and I'm the Pope. I mean, you could be, I offered. The outfit's not technically a deal breaker. Next thing I knew, he vaulted off the catwalk and landed a few feet in front of me, crouched low. The air around him shifted weirdly, like the pressure dropped for a second. I felt my stomach clench. Is anyone in the story of darkness powers? It's funny you ask this right now. I held up my hands. Okay, you've clearly got a gift and unresolved trust issues, which is a super fun combo, but maybe, he lunged. I dodged sideways just in time for his shadow tendril to slice past me. Did he read it on the page? Like, were you reading ahead? And he's just trying to look like he has IQ, high IQ? Well, I'm feeling like maybe someone does and here in trouble. Yeah, alright. Whoa, even flow. Cracking the floor where I'd been standing. Are you kidding me? Another tendril lashed out, this one thinner, quicker. I caught it with a burst of wind, redirecting it into a crate and shattering into splinters. The guy didn't hesitate. He pressed the attack, swinging shadows like a whip, the end slicing with surgical precision. No Pearl Jam fans in here? I wasn't sure if that's what you were referring to. But yes, slightly. Not as much as others. I'm more of a... like Maiden slash Metallica slash like Van Halen. Shadow powers. At first the story had my interest, but now it has my attention. Guy didn't hesitate. He pressed the attack, swinging shadows like a whip, the end slicing with surgical precision. His shadows kinda looked like that Plague Dot guy's gross teleportation mist. But these were tighter, more controlled, smarter. That was somehow worse. First you had my attention, now you have my erection. Hey Scotty, in the words of the Terran Firebat, you got my attention.
You got my attention.
Seriously, can we just talk? I shouted, ducking under another strike. Nice voice actor in here. I try. You know, I read a lot. I talk a lot. So, you know. We got lots of voices! Or yes, we very much do. Don't you think so?
I totally believe in you.
Don't worry about it.
We got it, bro.
Okay, let's see if I can do Vulture. Yeah? What do you want? I don't play Terran. I'm trying. Okay, what else does he say? Hold on. Yeah. I'm totally blanking what I know there's another line that he says. I read you, sir.
The logic to sir.
Protect this streamer at all costs. Oh wait though. Oh, I can never do it. What does he say? I have no idea what the fuck the Wraith says. I've made a Wraith like 4 times in my life. Valkyrie prepared. No, like when you when you produce the unit. What's the saying when you produce the unit? Wait, it says Wraith awaiting launch orders? Wraith awaiting launch orders. I don't know. Goliath online. I wish I knew the lines from him. But when you play Zerg, it's... Can you name those Zerg units? All you have are Overmind and the Infested Terran. We'll spawn more Overlords. Oh god. Not enough minerals. We require more minerals. Not enough Vespine gas. Not enough energy. Not enough energy. Not enough energy. Not enough energy. Evolution complete. My original name is Relifed, which is Defiler backwards, because Defiler is the best unit in StarCraft. %. It's the best unit in any game ever. Best unit. Too bad you don't get it into... Yeah, they had to... I mean, Infestors are okay, but... And Queens are a bit different. But... Yeah, I guess the Viper. You know, Blinding Cloud. It's not too bad. Well, when everything's OP, nothing's OP. That's what's so great about SC Brood War. It's just too great. And even nowadays, we have the greatest ASL. And we still got 2 matches to go in the round of 8. Oh my god. I noticed that StarCraft 1 looked dark and gritty mixed with horror, but StarCraft 2 looked cartoony. Yeah, that's Blizzard for you. Zerg is balanced in Brood War, OP in 2. Yeah. Yeah. Zerg just has other types of disadvantages. So I feel about 3D fighting games. If everything is OP, nothing is. Yeah, instead of nerfing stuff, you should buff everything. Like, literally. The Zerg unit has infinite energy because you consume any unit and it gives you energy. So as long as you have Zerglings, which are basically free, and you get 2 at a time, and then you have an ability thing that no ranged damage can do damage under Dark Swarm. And it's fucking huge. And it lasts like a minute and a half. And then you can plague units and they just go down to 1 HP. And you can burrow. so other units can't attack you without detection. Fucking broken. With 12 siege tanks? Oh my god, 12 siege tanks would fucking kill anything. 12 carriers? 12 carriers would fucking kill anything. Well, it's the ultimate game of rock, paper, scissors. To the point no one solved any of the races, even 27 years later. 12 battlecruisers. 12 battlecruisers aren't that great if they're not supported by anything. It's like I'd rather honestly have like 12 siege tanks than 12 battlecruisers unless I'm Terran versus Terran. In which case I'd want the battlecruisers to break the lines. In one. Like, if I had 24 Hydras, I'm not killing 12, oh, 1. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, not in 2. No, not in 2. In 2, battlecruisers are fucking... In 2, battlecruisers are fucking carriers. And carriers are paper. Paper shit. But then again, broodlords are fucking broken, so it's like... Game winning in 2. They're different games, right? And that's something to appreciate, right? That they're not just a rip-off and like a copy. It's actually a completely different game with its own set of rules, its own set of shit. I almost wish they had added a 4th race to make it even more deviated. That's the word I'm looking for. Deviated. Like Warcraft, Yes, ads! Yes, ads! Play ads. Guys, I'm going to shake the ball, okay? We're going to shake the ball. And what's it going to give us? Are you guys ready? It's my Super Saiyan awakening moment. I'm actually playing DBG. Are you, Sparking Zero? Sparking Zero? I played it for a bit. It's not bad. It was not what I expected with, like, how the characters fight, you know? Like, the way that they did, the campaign with the characters. You know, I wasn't, you know, too into that. Because I'm into the story and I wanted to do every single fight. Ball Heroes trying to 100% it. Ah! Back from ads! Yay! Welcome back. Ads over. You guys missed my Super Saiyan moment. I went Super Saiyan. Now my hair is golden blonde. See? Okay. Talk to intruders, he snapped. Not a chance. I blasted a gust of wind forward, trying to knock him off balance. Skidded back a few feet, but landed cleanly and charged again. I met him halfway this time, wind spiraling around my arms. He jumped. I slid. His shadow blade grazed my shoulder. My elbow caught his ribs. We separated again, breathing hard. Didn't even look winded. You're not half bad, he muttered begrudgingly. Oh, yeah, well, I panted. I play a lot of video games. He came at me again. I tried a vertical gust to launch myself up and over him, but a shadow snagged my ankle midair and yanked. I hit the ground with a sound like a dying accordion. Before I could scramble up, he stalked forward, shadows flaring behind him like wings. I braced myself. Then, two massive hands grabbed us both by the collars and lifted us off the ground. What are you two doing? Pluto's voice bellowed. I flailed. Hi! Hello! Yes, glad you're here. Goth boy twisted in Pluto's grip. You didn't say he was my age. And you, Pluto growled, turning to me. Why are you rummaging through my stuff? You gave me coordinates. Was I not supposed to explore? Pluto dropped us both. Hoodie landed in a couch. I landed in a heap. Leo, Pluto said, rubbing his temples. This is Elias, my son. My brain short-circuited. Wait, what? Elias folded his arms. Great. You told him. Pluto glared at him. After you tried to murder him? Yes. I got to my feet, brushing off dust. Okay, look. If I'd known bring your kid to work day included fistfights, I've brought snacks. Pluto looked between us, exhaled hard, and muttered, This is going to be a long week. We stood in silence for a long, awkward beat. Elias kept glaring at me like I'd insulted his childhood pet. Pluto put his arms crossed like a man who'd already hit his daily quota of teen drama. I, being the emotionally well-adjusted person I totally am, was debating whether it was too early in the day to fake a heart attack. So, I said, dragging the word out like gum on concrete. Your son, huh? Pluto exhaled, like someone who'd held their breath for 17 years. Yes, Elias, my son. Who was supposed to be upstairs, waiting. Waiting to commit homicide, I asked, brushing debris off of my patent grass shirt. Because, wow, he's got the instinct down. Elias rolled his eyes. You're lucky I pulled punches. Oh, that's what that was, because my spine disagrees. Enough, Pluto snapped. Elias, we'll talk later. Leo, follow me. You've seen enough of the asbestos museum. He turned sharply and walked off like he had something better to be doing, which, knowing him, probably involved smuggling orphans to safety or solving moral dilemmas with a crowbar. Elias stalked behind him with a final side glare. I gave the haunted vending machine one last look and followed. Corridor we entered looked like it belonged to a different building entirely. Motion-activated lights buzzed on overhead, revealing clean walls, newer wiring, the sharp scent of metal and ozone. The grime gave way to structure. There were even signs, actual laminated signs. Sliding door at the end hissed open like something out of a sci-fi movie, and I stepped into what looked like the inside of a repurposed command center. The room was sleek but not flashy, more field hospital than tech bro lair. Polished metal, a few desks with monitors, whiteboards filled with scribbled notes and tacked on photos. In the center stood a circular tactical table, humming with a faint internal glow. A faded couch sat in one corner, next to a mini-fridge with 3 magnets. Pluto gestured around. Welcome to HQ. I circled the table slowly. So what's the gig, then? Angsty teens for justice? He gave me a flat look. We help people. I waited. That's it? We help the ones no one else will, Pluto said, voice calm but solid. Big-name heroes like to punch cameras. We patch holes, get kids off the street, protect gifted people who don't tick the right boxes. Elias sat on the arm of the couch, arms crossed, giving me the look of someone who didn't think I'd make it past breakfast. Pluto continued ignoring the mutual eye daggers. I could care less if the public knows our names. I care if the right people are safe when no one else shows up. So underground heroes. That helps you understand, he said, then nodded to the map on the table. This is the city, and these, after pressing a button, red dots blinked into existence, dozens of them, are everything no one's talking about. Unregistered gifted, missing persons, cover-ups, quiet wars no one's televising. I stared. That's a lot. But why me? Looked at me like it was obvious. I've had my eye on you since you failed last year's protest. You could have passed without a second thought if you had just focused on taking down the faux villains. But you prioritized saving fellow test takers who overestimated themselves. Yeah, well, doesn't mean I'm built for this. No, he said. It means you give a damn. That's rarer than you think. Behind me, Elias muttered. Should have stayed outside. I turned. You always this friendly, or you just got a problem with me? You broke into our space. You drop-kicked me before introductions. You wandered into classified ground. I followed GPS. Okay, that's enough, Pluto barked. Leo, Elias, I'm not running a daycare. If either of you wants to be here, start acting like it. Elias fell silent, shadows, his fingertips curling back into his sleeves. I crossed my arms. Fights like that plague doctor guy, you know. Creepy vibe, same shadow shtick. Any relation? That got Elias up off the couch. I'm nothing like him. Sure, just moodier. I said. Lights flickered briefly as a shadow pulsed across the wall. Elias, Pluto warned. And that was enough. The room stilled. I looked between the two of them. So this is it, huh? Underground ops. Saving people. No glory, no sponsors. No pretending, Pluto added. I looked at the map again. Red. So much red. You want me to help? I said. I want you to try, Pluto said. And I want you to know what we are not. We are not influencers. We don't pick fights for drama. We pick people. And we fight for them. I took a breath. The warehouse air still smelled faintly like oil and burned circuits. Not exactly a recruitment poster, but the map didn't lie. Something was happening in this city, and I didn't really want to go back home anyway. Alright, let's get into it. I love it. Another one leaves you off like, alright, bring on the first adventure. I'm ready. Who are we saving first? Where are we going? What are we doing?